Student, I'm back with your economics lecture. Till now we have learned what is economy, what is economics. We have learned the different definitions of economics stated by the different economists. We have also learned what are the causes of the problems in the economy. Say for example, the scarcity, the allocation of resources, alternative uses of resources, unlimited needs and wants, right? Then we also learned the three central problems of the economy, that is what to produce, for whom to produce, and how to produce. And then we also learned the economic analysis, that is the two approaches based on or the economic analysis which is based on the two approaches, that is normative and positive approach. We have also learned the subject matter of economics in terms of microeconomics as well as macroeconomics. Now today we are going to learn the classification of economy. Okay, any of the economy has been classified on the basis of the type of economic system which has been followed in the economy. Okay, and this economic system is also one of the solutions for the central problems in different types of economies. All these three central problems, that is what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce, exists in every economy. Okay, and mainly the problem of scarcity is existing in every economy, whether it is a developed economy, whether it is a underdeveloped economy or a developing economy. All the economies do face the problem of scarcity. Okay, so the classification of an economy is always said to be as the solution for the problems of the economy, which can be stated in different types of economies which are classified as market economy. It is also said to be as the capitalistic economy, centrally planned economy, and the mixed economy. This mixed economic system avails in our country. Okay, it has been prevailing in our country, right? So first of all, the market economy, what is it? It is all about the activities which are organized through the market. That means there is completely capitalism. The throughout economy is based on production and then the consumption and other economic activities. But it is completely based on the capitalistic system. Okay. In this economy, the central problems of what, how, and for whom to produce are solved by price mechanism. Okay, price mechanism is based again on the two tools of market or the two market forces, that is demand and supply. Okay, which are very much free enough to determine the price of the commodities. And here the production is mainly done for earning profits. Okay, so social welfare etc. doesn't matter here, or any sort of balance between the income and consumption of the individuals or income distribution does not matter here. And the whole of the economy, the decision making etc. is being based on the private sector alone, that is the capitalistic economy. Here the government has got no intervention. Okay, the second form of economy is centrally planned economy. Here the problems again, what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce, are solved through central planning, where the government plays the major role. There is no interference of any other sector here, right? The government has got the authority to plan the economic plans or all important activities. Say for example, the economic activities, that is production, consumption, distribution, exchange, right? All these are being formulated only and only by the plans of the government, and the prices are determined also again by the government authorities. So there is again here no intervention of the private sector here, and it is completely based on the mechanism of social welfare of the individuals, right? And the third form of the economy, that is mixed economy. It is said to be as a mixed economic system. Here the decision making lays in the hands of the government. It is fully controlled by the government, but it has been, all the economic activities are being carried out with the help of the public sector as well as the private sector. So both the public and the private sector merge together in the field of production, and the decision making in terms of the income distribution of the individuals, the consumption patterns, or you can say the welfare of the economy or the welfare consent of the individuals in order to have social welfare in the societies. Everything has been managed and decided by the government. Okay, so all decisions in order to achieve the profit maximization with social welfare is the basic motto of the mixed economic system, which is one of the basis of our economic system in our country. Okay. Now let us learn the differentiation between the mixed economic system, the centrally planned economy, as well as market economy. This will help you out to understand the classification of the economy in a better way. Okay, how is this classified? It is classified in terms of nature, as I said. The market economy, that is the capitalistic economy, is always free of economy where market forces of demand and supply are organized, and these are the only ways through which the economic activities are organized in the economy, right? Whereas in centrally planned economy, it is the government who again takes care of the economic activities regulated by the government. And mixed economic system, it is the public sector as well as private sector, both together run the economic activities in the economy, and the market has been controlled through the government. Okay. Motive of production. In market economy, it is completely profit oriented. Okay, the principal objective of production activity is based on profit maximization. In the centrally planned economy, it is altogether based for the social welfare and the welfare of the individuals in the economy, right? In terms of productive activities. And in mixed economy, the profit motive in private sector and social welfare in public sector, both is to be evaluated together, both is to be termed together in order to have welfare in the economy with growth and development. What about the role of the government? In market economy, there is no direct interference or intervention of the government. In centrally planned, the government plays a very important role because it, as I said, it is based on the centralized planning of the economy through the schemes and policies. And in mixed economic system, full control, that is the decision making, is in the hands of the government in terms of the public sector, and partially, that is some private sector or sectoral organizations have got the control over the decision making in the mixed economic system. Then the central problems, that is what, how and for whom to produce, are solved through the price mechanism in market economy, right? You need to remember this as market economy and price mechanism. Okay, so market economy is always controlled through price mechanism in order to solve the central problems of the economy. In centrally planned economy, there is only planning mechanism, that means through the policies and plans run by the government, as the government has got full control in such economy. And in mixed economic system, the both price mechanism as well as planning mechanism is functional. Okay, so both public and private sector work together in order to solve the problems of how to produce, what to produce, and for whom to produce in the economy. And in terms of competition exists in the market economy because this is completely a capitalistic economy. In the centrally planned economy, there is no competition as it is. It is only the government who runs thoroughly. And in mixed economic system, competition exists between the private sector only. You must have seen so many different monopolists, okay, or the monopoly companies in the private sector who have got the competition between them. That means here the market mechanism is based on imperfect market mechanism, right? Okay. Now the second thing which I need to explain here is there are some basic tools in the economics to study the economics. Okay, as you know, it is based on the statistical study, that is based on data organized or been provided by the different organizations. Okay, say for example the sample survey organization or the census, these provide us data in order to evaluate the development of the economy. Okay, and it has also been studied in terms of the different graphs, right? Here the equation of line, that is general equation of line or straight line, is given as ax plus by is equals to c. So what is this ax? Where a, b and c are constants. Okay, and a and b cannot be 0, right? This a and b here cannot be 0. That means the slope, this is the slope. Okay, this slope is also said to be as a downward sloping straight line, right? So the slope is defined to be as the amount of change in variable measured on vertical, that is y-axis, with respect to change in the variables measured on the horizontal line, that is x-axis. Okay, this is the variable x and this is the variable y. Say for example, any of the two goods when they are produced, okay, good A and good B, right? So B is been indicated on the y-axis and A is been indicated on the x-axis, right? So in order to increase the production of A, what will happen? Some sources of B would be sacrificed, okay, and they would be used more to produce. These would be used more in order to produce some more units of good A. Okay, so the slope indicates change in y to change in x. You will be learning about this when you are going to learn the consumer's equilibrium. They would be learning about it. Then we will be also learning about this in the production possibility curve, right, which I am going to start in the next lecture, the opportunity cost and the production possibility curve. Okay, then there is also a non-linear curve, right? What do we call it as? You also call it as the convex curve. Okay, the convex curve, right? Again, it indicates the change in y to change in x variables. Okay, this slope is a curve shaped slope which is again downward sloping from left to right. It is indicated on the y-axis as well as x-axis. Y-axis again indicate the y variables and x-axis again indicate the x variables. And the change between the two gives the slope of the curve. Okay, what is the slope of the curve? It is a convex curve and it has been indicated on the point N and B. It is giving a C-shaped curve. Okay, downward sloping curve. There are also some different curves. Say for example, the U-shaped curve, okay, the convex curve, then there is an S-shaped curve. Generally you find this in the costs theory in economics. Then as you saw, this downward sloping straight line, okay, there is also an upward sloping straight line, okay, which slopes upward from the left to right. This is generally found in supply curve and this is generally stated as demand curve. As I said, demand and supply are the two tools of the economy. Okay, this curve is a concave curve which indicates the production possibilities in the economy. This curve is said to be used when the cost comes into existence. Again, this S-shaped curve is being evaluated when we talk about the cost in terms of production function when they are incurred. Okay, then the revenue curves are also either straight line curve or upward sloping curve or downward sloping curve, right? These all are the different. There is also one inwardly U-shaped curve, right? This is also found when, or this is also learned when we learn about the cost curve, student. Okay, so these are the different curves which are used to learn the graphs or draw the graphs wherever in economics it is required. Okay. Thank you for today. In the next class, we are going to learn about the opportunity cost, marginal opportunity cost, calculation of these two costs. Okay. And then we'll be learning about the production possibility curve.